right, so player analysis. Gonna be, I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but it's gonna be something related to defense because I watched this set a couple days ago and I was super impressed. I love watching Persona 4 Arena Ultimax 2.0, especially since we never got it here in the arcades, or rather in the arcades, we never got it here on console. It's been only out in the arcades in Japan. And this is 2015 footage, which is, in my opinion, the best year of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, because that's when I felt the level of competition was at its best, and the tech was as its most developed, and just the stars aligned as far as that game at a competitive level during that year. Similar to Street Fighter 4, in my opinion, in 2015 as well. So, we're going to start this bad boy, and the good news is that new kid in school. The good news is that, oh, by the way, pause. This is Shikki, Narukami versus Oogi, Yukiko, and look at these players' wins, or just matches played and wins, and their PSR levels are crazy. And this is RK PSR, so you know they're not fraudulent. Shikki is by far the best Narukami player that I've ever seen play, and Oogi did not travel overseas as much, but when it comes to playing Yukiko, he is a savant. I mean, it's art in motion watching this guy play Yukiko. And if you guys seen my other Persona videos, you know what I think of Shikki. He's godlike. I really love his Narukami. Good news is that this is going to be arcade footage, but it's actually pretty high quality arcade footage. So we'll be able to see everything. It's about 60 frames per second variable, which is very good because you need that in a fast game like Persona. However, there's this weird zoom in, sort of like autofocus effect that's going on. I don't know what that's about. It's a little distracting, but you'll just have to bear with it because I don't know how to get rid of it. So hit play, and I just want to make the zooming in, zooming out. I want to make the emphasis of this video of how little things when it comes to top level of fighting games are so huge with regards to winning or losing. So I just want to pause there. So if you saw that little sequence of blocking from Shikki, if you saw him glowing in like a white aura and you heard like that almost glass shattering sound, that is instant blocking in Persona. And what instant blocking does in Persona is it makes frame advantage a little better on block, or I guess frame disadvantage better on block, and it also gives you defensive meter build, which is something very important because if you have more meter, you have more options, EX moves, guard cancel roll, a lot of different tools that you can use, and we'll keep playing here. So run up 2B into the corner, and this is not good for very nice mix-up. So he's going to put him in the corner, and that's an option select. I don't know if any of you guys watched the video where I was talking about Labris versus, or Pure Labris versus 623 Mitsuru. You saw that option select sort of a couple times. That time it was actually in jump forward throw, which usually is jump back throw, but option select nonetheless. So we'll keep going. Okay. I want to talk about this too. This game is so fast, I have to pause, I'm sorry. So you saw that blue bird looking thing that comes out. That's Yukiko's Persona. And Yukiko's Persona, Konoha no Sakuya, is like one of the most frustrating personas to deal with because she has extreme range and she flies from so many different angles. She comes on the ground, she hits low, she hits mid. She comes from over the top, it's an overhead, you have to stand block it. And then the fans, right? So she's a very good zoner, and she also has some pretty good tools up in your face. So knowing the matchup and knowing the gaps is crucial for almost anime shotos like Narukami. Knowing where the gaps lie in a matchup like this is crucial for a character that really relies on about 2 character lengths away. So we'll keep going. You got fans, you got zoning, and she's charging the fire. She's making it higher level. So she opened them up, and what I think after this sequence, you'll see here, that's actually a hard combo to land. After the sequence, you'll see here, okay, so that was actually a very important sequence there. Right here, there's a sequence right here. Okay, so he jumps, he goes over her, and this is very tempting, I feel, for a lot of players who aren't very high level, is to do something here. So maybe it's while on his fallback, while he's jumping and he's falling down, to maybe do a JB or a J2B and to try and catch Yukiko. But the best option here actually is blocking, because she's not technically under you, so she can't hit you with the air unblockable unless she dashes up and then hits you with it. But had he done anything in that moment while he's falling down, he would have got counter hit. And I want you to count how many times Shikki gets counter hit in a span of about maybe like 8 to 9 rounds. I don't know how many that they play. It's only about 2 matches, but it's 3 rounds. And it's so impressive to me that how much patience he have to just play defense. He's relying on his skill and the character. I don't know if you guys watched my Why I Love Yuna or Persona 4 Arena's Narukami. I said in that video is that he is a character that can absolutely rely on defense and then shoot for opportunistic offense, because he has all the tools defensively that allows him to do that, like a really good DP, a good reversal, a good guard cancel, a very wide-ranged guard cancel roll. He has a lot of really good tools that allow him to just sit back, relax, play the matchup, and then when he sees a gap, boom, capitalize it. And Shikki, in my opinion, did it the best in this game. So you'll see here, he just blocks, no counter hit, and then right there, what am I talking about? He knows the gap, he DPs through it, he supers, now she's in the corner. That is Narukami 101 of like, I feel what the character is meant to do. So very, very nicely played. I don't know what that was all about. That was kind of weird. A weird zoom effect. I don't know what's going on there. So fan, zoning, a little hop there. Instant block, building meter. I mean, it's super, super impressive what he's doing there. He's just playing defense. There you go. So you saw how far range that is. It allowed him to get out of the corner. And yes, he still is forced to block, and now she's going to change sides right here. But it's such an advantageous move to have by the fact that he has such a giant roll. I mean, yeah, it costs meter, but it's a defensive option that I feel it was very important for Narukami to play and succeed at very high level. So she puts him back in the corner here. I don't know, every time I pause it does that thing. Okay, so that was actually really smart. Guard cancel. So he did both the guard cancel roll and the guard cancel. Again, instant block. He's not wasting that meter by doing those defensive options because he's just gaining them back by blocking. Got opened up there, but that was actually an important sequence there because he gets opened up here with the 2A. However, the overhead came down, and it's actually a true knockdown, so he could recover straight from ground teching, and she didn't have really much time to set up anything on the ground. So, very, very impressive. Just awareness, both situational. Went for the grab there, did not go out. He had the burst, and that was, come on, that's ridiculous. Look at this. He runs up and instant blocks, boom, and then DPs. He knows. I mean, had he not instant blocked, that DP would not have worked because he would have had less frame disadvantage. Okay, another thing here. So very important. I just want to pause it. Ooh. Okay, so this move that's going to come out, that one, it's called Heroic Bravery, and this is something that is I think it's going to come up later. Heroic Bravery after 2C is not a true block string. You can actually roll out of it. You can DP through it. It's just it's almost like fake pressure, but the mix-up with that is that EX Heroic Bravery is a lot faster, and it's actually, it's not a true string on hit, but it's actually a true string on block. So if you try to interrupt it, you will get counter hit and you will get hit. And I believe it also leaves you in crouch, so it leaves Narukami's Persona, Izanagi, a lot easy. He gives them more options to hit you with standing or 5C, 2C. Sorry, I've been playing too much Tekken, so I use like standing and crouching and all this stuff. But that's Heroic Bravery is going to come out later. Ooh, I don't like that filter or whatever it's doing. EX Raging Line, corner, very nice blocking from Oogi. Again, instant blocking, gaining meter. Heroic Bravery again, regular Raging Line, and then he gets out of the corner by jumping. J2B for pressure. And now, so what we see here, I don't know what happened there. I think that was a little emotional by Oogi. So he was putting the pressure on, or he was getting the pressure put on him by Shikki. But he decides to burst, and I think he didn't look at the time. There's 5 seconds left, and Shikki has a life lead. And if you saw anything about Shikki, he does not mind blocking, and he does not mind taking advantage of your non-true block string. So he bursted, he put him across the map, and now he's just going to block it out, tech the throw, and that's actually going to come up later. Ooh, that was a weird shift there. I don't know what's going on there. All right, so first round by timeout, which is very rare in Persona. That's when you know you have 2 very high-level players, when the timeout happens. Defense. Okay. That was so... Okay. So they land here, right? And they have like a really sort of awkward neutral situation where like technically both of them can hit a button, but it's basically who blinks first. So right there, oh, come on. Where's the quality? Okay, right there. So she runs up, he crouches, and she's baiting him, right? She's going back, she's baiting him, do something, and then I'll counter hit you out of it. But nope, he just keeps on blocking, so he was very comfortable there. Took a risk with the backdash, and now she's gonna do her little combo. That's actually hard to do, so very impressive. I mean, not so difficult, but I can't do it, so I think it's hard to do. Goes under the fan. More instant blocking. Very difficult situation to deal with Konoha Sakuya. She's such a, like, she's not oppressive, but she's just always there. Alright, gets staggered load. Corner, very nice. J2B, oh, okay, that kick gets them. Counter hit. Excellent, okay, that was a great option select there. And instead of throw, he did jump back, jump A. So he caught any sort of back moving aerial. So back moving, or if he decided to jump back fan, jump back 2C, jump back throw, it would have caught that, and you saw that it just put him back on a knockdown in the corner. So right there, yep, excellent. That's very, very advanced. So heroic bravery again. So remember that. Very nice getting out of that. That's not a true setup there. Had he blocked the 5D, so you'll see this move right here. Had he blocked this, he would have been forced to block way more, probably would have been opened up, and most likely that's the round because she's right outside Awakening. Narukami has a lot of resources. He would have gotten 100 by then, and she would have been dead. Very nice to not respect that and just jump out, not get caught by that 2B. And now he's in the corner. She's all the way through the green. Very nice burst there. Look at this, because he was probably dead here had he not bursted. Okay. The reason for that is she's only at level 1, yes. However, she has 100 meter. She can build that level with that backfire super, which brings the opponent all the way to her. So, and he's right outside Awakening, so his defense is really down. Very, very good, smart burst there. Even though it looks a little emotional because he's all the way across the screen and he doesn't get anything out of it, he gets to play. And that's very important in Persona. So a lot of these characters will steal your turn. Gets caught by the low fire. And EX Fire Trap. There you go, level 3. Oogi. Konoha Sakuya with the overhead. Fan. Nice throw tech. Right, okay, so that was actually really impressive. A lot of people, especially at lower levels and intermediate levels, after they don't know what to do, what the action to take after teching a throw, because a lot of people don't expect you to break the throw at the lower levels. It's just not something that most people do because everybody has, other things on their mind. So right here, all he did in pursuit is he knew that he knew that Oogi is the jumper defensively. So he knows he's a back jumper into fans or back jumper into 2C or whatever, or JD. So he decides to just pursue and run up 2B. Very, very impressive. Boom, air unblockable. Counter hit too. So now he's in a corner. She is, I was going to say, so right here, he's going to do Raging Lion in the air into one more cancel J2B, which actually continues the combo. A little tricky to do, but very useful. And he has 150 meter. All he could have done there is he could have actually J2B'd in the air, DP'd into, what was that super called? Like God Rain Dance or whatever it's called, and he would have been dead. Or he could have done Cross Lash into Isen, or he had a lot of options there. So very, very good burst on the ground. So right here, that's J2B, and to the 5C, very good burst here because he would have most likely been dead. Good job by Oogi for understanding the awareness on screen. So JD, very nice. Okay, this is something actually I haven't been talking about at all. I know this is getting long, I'm so sorry. Is right here, when he puts out his persona, JD, for Yukiko, right here. So you see, so Konoha Sakuya is going to come down, and Narukami just does almost a neutral jump J2B, which gets rid of her persona. And yes, the fan is on his way, but look at the persona card situation. And one thing about Yukiko is if she's personaless, she is almost like Aigis in non-Oriya mode. She is useless. You cannot do much with her. Yeah, you can zone a little bit with the fans, but you can't do much if she doesn't have Konoha Sakuya on her side. Instant block. So he got caught there with an unwise guard cancel roll, thinking he was going to still stay on the ground, and Oogi got that round. So just little things, man, they make such a big difference. So playing a little more here. Neutral into, so right here does the gap, boom, okay. Very important. So no gap, no gap, no gap, no gap, gap, right? So her persona is very vulnerable here. She can't do much unless she takes a risk. And he knew that, so he was like, okay, I'm going to block this last attack, especially instant block, get that meter, and then punch her persona. Now she's going to lose a card. And that's really what you want to do. And then he just throws a fireball just to kind of garner respect. Instant block, very nice. He thought he was going to get crossed up. No, he stayed on the same side. That's actually a kind of hard combo to do. Look at that. So she had to air confirm that. Fan. That was not easy. Yukiko players, I feel, don't get a lot of respect that they deserve because a lot of people don't like getting zoned out, but I really enjoy watching Yukiko and Shadow Yukiko. Ooh, okay, so I don't know what happened there. That's normally not something you see from Shikki. A random DP, that's usually more of like a me type move. Run up into 2C, pressure, okay. Heroic Bravery, I'm telling you, this is going to come back. Remember this. Blah, 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 blah. Heroic Bravery. And then he did a roll, so that's telling you something. EX Raging Lion, almost unseeable, even offline. You kind of have to predict it coming. Konana Sakuya, she's in front of you, she's behind you, now she's in overhead, now you got 2 aid. Very difficult to stop that persona when she's full throttle. Okay, set up the fire. Okay, she's got unblockable. So this is going to be a nice sequence here. So actually, he did a burst after the set trap. Good burst there. He has 150 meter. Now she has unblockable fire right there. Okay, so you saw that little... Well, hopefully I can... She's going to do it. Okay, right here. So you saw those 2 exclamation points. That means this is going to be an unblockable. There's a few defensive options you can do there. You can burst, but he already wasted it. He has so much meter that he was actually waiting to block all of Konohana Sakuya's attacks and a couple fans before the fire comes out, and look what he does here. Boom, guard cancel roll. So you can actually guard cancel roll, spend 50 meter to not get hit by the unblockable, and that would have been the round had he got hit by it, because Yukiko gets either a setup or an actual confirm off of it. So the awareness there was absolutely superb. Gets tagged in the air, and then gets tagged again. I'm telling you, she is one of the best personas. She's so just... She has a lot of range in multiple different spots on the screen, and she can really use her anywhere. So Konano Sakuya is a really good persona. Okay, Raging Lion in the air puts you in the corner. Okay, that was actually an important sequence there. I want to go back to this because I know it's going to come back I think in the second match. And we're only doing 2 matches because I'm already at 17 minutes and I'm rambling. So he puts him here, techs to throw, and look what Oogi does. After a tech throw, he does jump back, fan throw, and this is gonna be a sequence multiple times throughout the match. So defense gets him. He actually mixed himself up, so he got caught counter hit on the. Oh, okay, that was almost like an empty jump low because I was like, God, this game is so fast. EX Raging Lion in the corner, nice burst, a little emotional but nice burst. He has 2 rounds. I would have liked him to just maybe concede that round, but Yukiko is actually, she's not a great comeback character, but she's no slouch. But right now, it's not the greatest. So yeah, I caught the backdash. So right here, you know, when he bursted, when Oogi bursted, I felt that the momentum, the on-screen position, and everything else that was going with it was going Shikki's way. And because he's up 2-1, he has 1 more round to fight for. So I would have liked him to keep that burst, maybe concede the round and just keep going. And now you see that he's going to get caught with the backdash to A and to her demise. I think it's a bit of a mistake, but it's a judgment call on the player depending on how comfortable they feel with coming back. So we got a little zoom in, zoom out action. Jump back to start the round, air confirm, more fire, and setup. So that's actually how you're supposed to deal with Konohana Sakuya coming up for the overhead. So you're supposed to jump and block in the air, but Yukiko players can do something else to prevent that, and it's very tricky. They can set her up in different angles and actually come in and mix you up while you're on the ground. And either you saw that earlier with 2A, or you can do all-out attack or whatever, and it's a lot of options. So Yukiko, very, very interesting character with regards to like setup heavy. She's got some tech. Nice combo zoom out action. Okay, so very difficult to find the gap. Okay, so that's what I was talking about. So normally mid screen you can hit the gap here when Konohana Sakuya After she's done with this motion, she usually goes into the 5C ender or whatever. But because Yukiko is so fast, her fans will actually hit you out of that, so you'll get counter hits. So Shikki does an incredible job here of just maintaining composure, block, block, block. I will get out of this corner eventually if you do anything that I can capitalize on. So he gets hit here by the overhead because he was expecting to block the overhead, got hit by, okay. He was expecting to get hit by the overhead, but he got hit by the low before he could possibly jump because he was almost like trapped. He was jailed in that place. But speaking of capitalizing on the moment, where's the gap? Right there. And Shikki is not one to give away opportunities. And speaking of opportunity, he's making the most of this one. Just run up, change sides, all out attack, raw. And he has a bunch of meter. DPs for his trouble. Konanosaki goes out. Breaks the persona. Very good job of not pressing the button on that comeback there. Very good job of not pressing a button there because they were going to counter hit. EX Raging Line. Throw. One more burst. Into Cross Slash. And that is Yukiko's day. So that was very, very nicely done by Shikki. He was doing kind of not in the greatest position there in the corner. And then he found that one gap and complete momentum swing. Narukami is one of the characters in this game that really shines at doing that. So we got another match here. And this one's going to be, I feel, a little faster. Very nice. Actually, speaking of gaps. So we see here Heroic Bravery. 2C, Heroic Bravery. Boom. And then he's going to fake Raging Lion. And he's going to try and J2B on the other side. But Oogi was like, no, I've seen that trick before. That's not a true string. You're just trying to set me up for the other side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to 5A and catch you on the other side. How about that? Very, very nice. So both of these players are at the top of each of these characters. I always like to see that combo. It's a little timing based. It's not like super hard, but it is quite difficult, I feel. Very nice. Instant blocking, just patience, patience, patience. Vying for an opportunity. You can't play much better than this, I feel. He knows when to press the button. He knows when to not press the button. And that's the most important aspect in fighting games right there. You just saw that. So let's look at that again because let's look at the time. So we're about 81 seconds. And he's not pressing anything. Just instant blocking. The only thing he's pressing is the instant block, which is holding back as you're blocking something. So you got tagged a couple times. Holding block. And gap. Boom. 5A fireball. So during the 5A fireball, she's going to try to take that opportunity to actually increase her fire level. And he throws the fireball, and he just makes her... Okay, that was excellent. Throws a fireball, she blocks it, but it allows him to get in. So he jumps up, she jumps back, J2B, counter hit, and that is a confirm. That is not easy to do, but Narukami players have a pretty good grasp on it. Speaking of good grasp, EX Raging Lion never fails. And she had to burst there because she would have been dead. Okay, so that's the super I was talking about. Brings her to her. Unblockable again. So she did the fallback super, which brings Narukami to the other side of the screen. And even though it gives him a chance to instant block and build meter, she has a chance to build her own fire gauge or unblockable, whichever she chooses. She uses it, and he used his other defensive option. Because the fire was behind him, a guard cancel roll would not have worked because he would have been put himself in the corner, and it wasn't guaranteed that he wouldn't have got hit by the fire that's behind him. And a guard cancel would have been too disadvantageous with regards to the frames. So best other option, burst, which is exactly what he does here. Excellent. You can't play much better than that. So a little stagger pressure, Heroic Bravery into the EX low. Okay, wow, okay. That was actually really impressive blocking by Oogi. So he puts him in a lot of pretty safe block strings. He one more cancel that, and then Oogi found the gap of Heroic Bravery, as we spoke about before. Not a true string, and he tried this multiple times. He took a risk because he didn't think that Shikki would actually spend the meter to go for EX Heroic Bravery to jail him in place. Get out of free corner card, sort of. But he gets tagged with 5A on the roll, and then gets staggered low, DP, and that is round number 1. Staggered low, very, very big weapon in Persona. Alright, so round 2. Little footsies here, anime footsies. Konanosaki. Okay, that was actually very nice. By not continuing with the Persona barrage and just stopping that string with an actual fan attack, it doesn't sacrifice a persona card with Shikki contesting. So very, very good understanding of who you're playing against. Somebody that will not allow your persona to just live for free. Alright, got caught. Bad 5C by Oogi. And ooh, that was tricky. So every time he put him in a knockdown, he would, as Yukiko was knocking down, he would jump above him, do J2B to whiff it, and then he would come down with either an empty jump 2A, or he would actually come down with a JB. So what he did there is he whiffs J2B right here, and then he's going to backdash into JC. Very, very impressive by Oogi by not pressing a button, because a lot of people got counter hit there. Blocks the fire trap. J2B has so much range. Just kind of zoning each other out. Fans, J2B, Konoha Sakuya out there doing twirls. Instant block. And that's something that I found very... it happens a lot for Shikki, is because he is so unrelenting with his defense. He doesn't mind blocking at all. And he's not much for pressing buttons for the lack of getting counter hit, or for the sake of getting counter hit. He will actually eat throws, and he doesn't mind it, because throws in this game, unless you one more cancel them for certain characters, they're not terrible, right? You actually have to either waste your burst to one more burst to throw, or one more cancel, and you have to use a lot of resource to get something out of the throw. It's not like some other games where they are very setup heavy. So he's totally fine with eating that throw. One thing about throws, they will also eat your roll. So don't roll into somebody's throws, because it will put you in a counter hit state into the same side you're trying to roll out of. So that's exactly what happened there with Oogi. So now he's going to put the Agi down. Two of them. Instant block, instant block. Ooh, that was tricky. He went for a ground throw. He went for the option select throw. Heroic bravery again. Lightning. Ooh, if that was a J2B, he would have caught him. No counter hits. Very nice block on the... again, back throw. Ooh, okay. So he took a chance there. Didn't work out. Immediately bursted. He knew he did not want to eat all that damage. Very good early burst. Nice throw tech. And that was something that we talked about earlier. So what happened earlier on a couple of different throw examples. So post throw tech, we saw run up 2B, run up 2B by Narukami, and then jump back fan by Yukiko. So that time you get throw tech into 5B, which is a very good, useful move, especially within that situation. They're so close to each other in the corner. EX roll, again, that's what I was talking about. The defensive options for Narukami, they're superb. Okay, fake throw with cross slash into another cross slash. So cross slash is such a cheap move that you can whiff it, and somebody can dodge it, and you can still do it again if they try to contest. So right here, I mean, he's just going to time him out. He can't do much, just giving him meter, and although he doesn't really, he won't get that meter for the next round, he knew it was basically over. Good job by Oogi not to waste his burst there, so at least he has one advantage as we zoom in and zoom out of the video. Oh my god, what is happening? Can't confirm off of that. Instant block, instant block. Very nice. Change of the string. So Oogi protected his persona there by changing the string and making it a little less advantageous for as far as setup, but protecting his persona to maintain his cards. Very nice there. So we had a little scramble there. Right there, he did not get there in time to kill Konoha Sakuya's card. Nice block on the cross-up. Sweep, Agi. Oh my god, that was dirty. So, we talked about gaps, right? Narukami is one of those characters that will defend until he finds a gap and he'll capitalize, and Shikki is the embodiment of that. You'll see here, he just decides to block the Agi, reads the fact that Yukiko is probably going to go up and throw a fan to set up Konoha Sakuya with JD. Nope. Here's 5C, Izanagi for your troubles. I'm going to not only go behind you, switch sides, put you in the corner, and this is your new home. EX Raging Lion, you're going to have to burst here because this is going to hurt. Yep, 2B on the ground. J2B, Konoha Sakuya puts him and counter hit. And then trying to fight off the zoning. Get rid of the ground fire by jumping. Instant block, instant block. Nice job of not pressing a button there. More instant blocks. Nice job on the overhead. And DP. Way to take your opportunity. Take your turn back. Stagger low. Is it coming? Yep, there it is. Stagger low. And that is all she wrote. One more burst. 5D into 5B, 5C, Raging Lion. And that will be the end of that. I rambled a bunch. 30 more minutes of player analysis. So what did we learn? We learned that a lot of times at highest levels, if you give a top player an inch, they will take your life bar. And you really have to be very conscious of that. Second thing we learned is that the ability to not press buttons is sometimes almost as impressive as pressing the right buttons. So knowing when to just simply pay patient, and you don't want to be too turtley, but you want to make sure that you're not too overzealous on trying to force opportunities. You take them as they come. And Narukami, as I said this multiple times, is such an embodiment of doing precisely that. It is very impressive to me that I see a player like Shikki basically play in such a, it's almost like a simple way. It's a simple way of thinking about playing fighting games. Is I'm going to defend, and when I see something arise, I'm going to capitalize on it. It's super, very honest way of playing, and I love that. And I just love the fact that he makes his defense his offense. In this game, like, if you defend properly, you actually get rewarded because you're taking meter away from the other person who thinks they're building more meter by becoming more, I guess, oppressive offensively. So and also very demoralizing. By defending and by using your defensive options, you're making the other person think is like, oh my god, what am I going to do to open this guy up, because nothing is working. And every time that I take a risk, he finds the gap and punishes it for me. So it's at highest level. I mean, the mind games that go into fighting games are so just fascinating to me. And Persona is one of those games that I always felt did not get its credit with regards to this stuff, because for some reason it was, looked a little bit down upon with regards to the rest of the games that it came out with within its era. So, but nevertheless, I really appreciate this game for that. And I feel that it's, for the fans that are there for Persona, I feel they can also appreciate this, even if perhaps they don't play these two characters on screen. But just the game itself is very, very deep, and I like that a lot about that game. So I rambled long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know why these always take so long. It's probably because I pause all the time and I ramble. I apologize. Next time I decide to do this, I will promise I will try to make it shorter. But until next time, keep it classy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.